Good evening, one and all. How are we doing? It is absolute league action on the advanced division. It's going to be Project Rose versus UGT Legion, joined last minute here by Struble, who is finished with his hats full of paint, I'm sure. Even on your lip, I could see a nice little beautiful bit of lip paint there as well. Maybe you wanted to
Scrub that up after. I think halftime we'll get that sorted. Yeah, very very last minute call up. I think it was literally bang on 2 minutes ago. I was like, oh, I can jump on this. So I haven't even had time. So we'll wait and see.
all good, all good. I need to get the lobby code, but there's two obviously teams that we're facing here. And the first team we're going to see on that screen there is going to be Project Rose, all female, as far as I'm aware. Laura, don't bite me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. It's going to be Laura, Dom, Void, and Steve taking up that roster. And she said there's a few people in there that you need to keep an eye out for. And that was Dom and Void. So we're going to keep an eye on them too, see how good they are, because they're going to be the places where we're going to expect to get some clips from, they said. And that being said, she said that sometimes she could pull a good game of herself, Laura. So I'll be looking forward to seeing that one as well. On the other hand, UGT Legion, their opposition for this evening is going to be Zombie, Riley Season, Proxima, and Cozy. Two different style rosters, two different teams that we have yet to cast over, Struble, and even for myself, I have not yet seen them. But the one interesting thing that I'm seeing in the lobby is, instead of it being Dom, it is Dutch Kelly I'm seeing on the screen. Maybe that's just they didn't want to be called Dutch Kelly on the picture. They've maybe switched out, but I know Dutch Kelly well. She's a good lass, she is. So it'll be good to see them come up into the action as well, to see how they perform. Maybe they're a pickup last minute because they were struggling for Dom to make it. I don't know. Maybe they just changed their names. I don't know. Whatever it is, that's it's going to be interesting. You're still there, aren't you?
Yep, still here. Yeah, very interesting to see what we come up with tonight. Believe it or not, I know Dutch Kelly as well. Danish, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. Been about the scene for a good while, and always involved in competitive action. So it's good to see familiar names, but also it's good to see like new names and showing what they bring to the table for this one.
Yeah, exactly that. Well, I'll speak about the maps and mods. Take us through this Strobe Y setup and chat in this lobby a second.
Yeah, so looks like what we've got on the card to warm us up. A little Skyline hardpoint always gets the blood pumping. If it's half as good as the 100 Thieves and Surge hardpoint Skyline the other night, then we're in for a treat. Then we're going to bring it into map 2, which is a rewind on S&D. Now, I think this has been possibly my favourite S&D map to cast over since me and Mark started doing these a couple of weeks ago. Always good games, always going right down to the wire, and we've seen a couple of crazy 1v2s, crazy 1v3s coming out. So that's the sort of chance where you really get to see longer lives in the POVs of players, especially new players that maybe some people aren't so familiar with, including ourselves, and it just really shows, puts limelight on them and shows what they can do in S&D, because very different game mode to Hardpoint, slower pace, and it's one of those ones that you can always bounce back. And switching over to that, we'll go straight into a Vault Control. Now, this is probably the most common map we've seen this entire year. Everyone knows it down to a T, and everyone just keeps choosing it. It's always headbutt central, but it's interesting to see how different teams play it. There's a few different strats you can go on that, but vitally, if you are on the defensive side, you want to keep control of top R. Just that B point is very difficult to capture if you have an AR looking over you. And then, of course, if your A is still captured, having control of bridge on the right hand side. And then just to finish it off, a wee double Hacienda. Hacienda hardpoint, best hardpoint map in the game. I've said it before, I'll keep saying it until this game's done, I think, unless they bring out an absolute banger for the rest of the season. And then S&D on Hacienda once more, and I keep saying it every time we get up, Mark. It's great to see if we can get to a map 5. We've finally got one, but we've just not got a round 11 yet. But hopefully Hacienda tonight will bring us a game 5, round 11.
Yeah, I'd love to see it go in the distance and go into that round 11 on our match 5, because I do love Hacienda. I love to see it, and it's going to be a back-to-back Hacienda if we get there, which will be really exciting. But at least it's a different change of pace with A hard point on Skyline is going to be Rapid, and then we're going to be a little bit of a bigger map, Rewind, which has been really interesting to cast over for sure in our most recent ones, and then back to that standardized Vault that we've seen so often since Black Ops 6 has arrived. It was Vault Edition that people were buying, and there's a reason it's called Vault Edition, because it's pretty much Vault Edition of Codcaster for the most part in most of the seasons that have gone by. But this time around, we're just going to hope that it's going to be going a little bit further into these haciendas, because I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of COD on our action, COD on the screen for some more action. Get myself all tongue-tied already. This is going to be a great start to the cast for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's one of them ones where just that excited to watch the gameplay. Sometimes I'll trip over our words a wee bit, but yeah, no, looking forward to seeing what both teams bring for this really, because quite a varied map pool, to be honest with you. Like, there's so many different ways that teams play different maps, particularly on Rewind and particularly on Hacienda S&D, I would say. So many different strats coming out, so many different kinds of plays. I mean, we've seen the other night, I believe it was Shan, just, MVP in that S&D that we had, just hitting routes underneath fire, flanking the enemy. You had so many different plays coming out on all the maps across the board on Rewind as well. We even had a 1v4 on Rewind not too long ago. So, yeah, looking forward to see what we get in the highlights reel tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing what we could pick up definitely for the highlights, because we always love to get as many highlights as possible from your games, and we obviously put them into that replay system. I've just got them stored somewhere. I've got like every single league, and I'm going to have them on this hard drive. It's going to be stored across it, and there's just going to be clips and clips and clips and clips and clips, and I'm going to have to do something with them at some point. But they're just sitting there ready to be used. Maybe I hand them to the guys that are in control of the leagues that want to put some highlight reels together for the league, and maybe that's what they should be thinking about. I was like, here, I've got every single one of your divisions, whatever wish you want. I've got it all set up. Just take the clips from me, put them on your stream, make a little video to introduce your new season that's coming up or whatever. Because I know ECL has done that already, but there's also Absolute. Which we're obviously about to cast over in this Absolute division, and we're seeing ready checks on the screen. So I'm just going to say ready, and we should be good to go with the casters and the players. We'll be getting into Skyline Hardpoint, and speaking of Skyline Hardpoint, I don't know if you watched much of the challenge or seen the straight bill, but there were some very interesting games across the whole weekend. As much as we didn't get to see very much of them from the very get-go, it took a while before we eventually got games on the screen, and some of these Skylines were so crazy, like back and forward, like yo-yos. You didn't know who was going to be in control. You didn't know who was going to get it. It was going down to the wire and such, and you're seeing like point gap by like 4 seconds for the majority of the house, back and forward. Nobody really holding for longer than like 10 to 15 seconds, which at that level you kind of expect that, but you want to be able to hold a little bit longer on some of these key hills on Skyline. Otherwise, the game can run away from you, and you don't want to be like neck and neck coming into these last couple of hills.
Yeah, well, I mean, I managed to watch as much challenges as any of us really could this weekend. Yeah. It was a bit of a shocker, to be honest. But just before I touch on the games, I think Adam Acapella coming back with the DreamHack event, huge. I mean, that's massive for the the amateur scene and challenger scene. Like, I grew up with this guy running the scene, so great to see, and hopefully we'll have a lot more of that going forward. But just on the games that we did watch, yeah, Skyline's one of them maps that it's just so different for every team that plays it. The main difference you'll notice is, see, at the topper end of challengers, teams are very fundamentally sound, right? And the only time they're broken is because of pure individual skill-based brilliance from individual players, right? You can have the best setup, so you can still get broken. And there's a tendency, if you go down the leagues where you maybe not got that, developed that brilliance as highly, the team that's more fundamentally sound and set up tends to win these games. But you know what I mean, one play can just turn the map on a knife's head, I suppose, would be the word to look for. But yeah, kicking it off, Project Rose versus UGT Legion. Can't wait to get into this one, Mark.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go. Opening kill goes away. Project Rose. Dutch Kelly follows up with the second onto Proxima, and they've got control of that hard point. Trying to make the rotations as Steve, but not to be doing much there. But Dutch Kelly is one of these players I have seen getting some really crazy kills across some of our maps and some of our clips over on TikTok. So hopefully we can see some more of them today as well. But Laura, she's come back from a long spell of not playing Call of Duty. So she said that, yeah, sometimes she can have great games, sometimes she can't. So we'll see if that's going to be the case across today and across these series.
Yeah, no, showing my age a wee bit here, but I think I've known Dutch Kelly in the scene since about probably going back to, I dare say, Black Ops 4, possibly before. And so been around a long time. So it's great to see veterans still, playing in these leagues, daily, even though it's so many years later. But I have to say, it was looking a wee bit scary for Project Rose to kick off with, as Legion managed to get a 4-piece down, and they have got the spawns for P2, which we always talk about how crucial the spawns are for us. Once again, we're seeing 3 down on the side of Project Rose, and Legion seem to be set up pretty soundly to get the majority of this time on P2.
Yeah, Proxima is absolutely slaying out. 5 in a row he goes. You jump on board, that's the typical codcaster. He just instantly dies as soon as you jump on board with him. But Zombie as well is holding it down in the back lanes here, but they're holding this one for quite some time. 25 seconds still left on the time. There's still going to be another opportunity to break on in. Steve's going to find one on towards Cozy. He's on a 2 streak now, trying to make it into the hill. Takes some shots onto Riley. Teammate will finish them off, and Laura will come flying in and find the 2-piece. 10 more seconds of scrap time, but the challenge is still coming in. Laura, can she win this one? She can. It's a massive free to hold on to the remaining scrap time.
Yeah, it's a good job they actually stopped the bleeding a wee bit there, even though it was only scrap time, you'd say 15 to 20 seconds, but it keeps the game close. The only bad thing for Project Rose is now that the guys on Legion have got a fairly good setup onto P3, but it's about to get mixy with Kelly looking for a wee wrap around the back, but they have read it. Proxima picking up that kill. Will they read the second? Take shots. Great teamwork there from the two of them, but just aiming at the back, fully aware. Now surely they know where spawns are. Great setups. Communication looks like it's flowing right now. Going back and forth, but UGT Legion just coming out on top.
Yeah, that was it. That was some good skill there from Proxima. He's finding all the kills. He's double positive at the moment. One of the players have keeping an eye on Zombie though. Gets a massive 2 inside kitchen here. Potentially going to add to the third, and he's going to shoot the whole trophy system as well. I thought he was just shooting bodies, but he's on a 5 streak and he's looking good for it as well. Potentially build towards more. He does. He picks up that sub and finds another kill along the way. UGT holding well.
Yeah, it looks like a very mechanically gifted player, knows what is happening. He's reading everything at the moment. Couple of great pieces from Zombie right now. That is crazy what I'm seeing right now. But yeah, no, the guys on Legion look like they're soaking up the time, getting all the kills. 3 dead. Once again, Project Rose have got it all to do.
Zombie and Proxima swapping out the Chronos between each other as they play. It feels like they were just snapping onto bodies, finding streaks, looking good, but not managing to find that Hellstorm in the end. But they've got almost a 50-point gap here leading the way with still 30 seconds left inside bathroom. They're surely going to hold for a little bit longer here and not over-rotate. Riley finds one player in the back, but it's Void. It's going to win that gunfight. Gets traded out by Cozy, and now we're looking to Zombie for watching these crosses from the spawn. He's going to get caught timing it as best. He does turn and he finds that. He's going to potentially come up to Void, who will eventually get the trade. But the lead is still looking good here for UGTs, and last bit of scrap time potentially going to Project Rose. They're unfortunate with some of these gunfights, and a lot of them going pretty negative, which is not looking great to start with.
No, they're definitely down in the kills department, but the score isn't like, one hill changes it completely, and like you're saying, P2 is the main one here, so if they can get some of the scrap time on P1 and just manage to flip the spawns to hold P2, they should be good to tie it up and even take the lead here. But you're looking at Zombie right now, he's absolutely undeniable just now. Trophies everywhere, teammates are looking over him, he's soaking up the hill time. Couple of missed shots there. If he gets up this kill, it's very important for them to hold it, but a chance for Project Rose just to flip the spawns here, depending if number 2 can make the play and get away with their life, and it has done. Oh, this is some crazy gunfights going on right now, but yeah, no, until Legion just coming away with it slightly. I just have to see how Riley gets on in the back here.
And Riley finds one, doesn't find his second. Laura's up top and looking to keep hold of P2. Going to spot one player making that rotation through Piano. There's an A going to come inbound. Laura's down to 11 HP, can't chow that yet, but knows there's a chance that people are going to start coming towards them entrances. It's a good potential start to this hold though, and they want to hold it as long as possible. Up through the elevator they come. Laura doesn't care. That's 4 dead in the feed. Project Rose now have got a good chance to hold for some time in P2, where we say this can bring this game right back into contention.
So important they win these fights right here, but they just seem to get broken straight away. Kelly getting caught throwing a nade the worst possible time you could, and just like that they have been broken, and as you can see they are spawning out. You're looking at the time, 30 seconds left on the hill. By the time you get there you're maybe playing for 10-15 seconds at most, so you've got a bit of a dilemma going on whether you just rotate and cut your losses. But Riley's doing it all right now to secure
No.
that time. And on the side of Project Rose, you just need to set up for P3 now.
Oh, they know their angles, they know where the players are going to be coming from, and UGT Legion are locked in and ready to take this fight. And it looks like for the majority of the part, they've got that 100-point lead. Dutch Kelly doesn't even realise who her teammates are and who her enemies are at this point. She's shooting the back of her own teammate and thankfully doesn't get the kill on them, because that would have been unfortunate, because you'd already been losing the position you are in, and it's a very strong P3 that you need to be holding on to, because this time is running away from you.
Yeah, you just look at that to try and flank the back. All four of them were in the firing line for the player on Project Rose holding the back, and straight away they just flipped them out. They're going to have control of the hill here again in a couple of seconds, but you've got a lifeline with 2 down on the side of Project Rose. Steve went huge there for a second. We're looking at Dutch Kelly. That's a massive kill. She can just manage to stay alive, just hold her irons, get this last kill. It's a big kill. That is a massive kill. Now that's got to be your springboard for coming back into this game now.
Yeah, now they need to try and make this rotation run. Hold out in the back, try and get the spawns close by. There's going to be 2 players there, but it's checkerboard in the feed, which is actually going to be working out here for Project Rose potentially, because they got the player in that back. And Void, if he spots Riley and gets the kill, doesn't. Proxima's up above. Finds one, finds a second. Now he's going to jump down, look for the third. Teammate will find that. Steve will get the rotation out, but he's going to be shot in the back, and she's going to have to try and get out with her life. Down to 50 HP. Goes for the reach out. Onto Cozy. Misses the bullets. That's not going to be good here, as UGT Legion get past that 200-point mark and still have a chance here. They won't win it. Well, they might still win it here, but they'd have to get on the time every single second, and it's not going to be possible. That's the players' checkerboard in the feed, but it works in favour as Project Rose now get into that bathroom and look to try and hold as much of this time as possible.
Yeah, it's a pretty damning deficit right now. But you see, but they're picking up kills. But you see, if you're on the side of Project Rose right now, you've got to say, right, if we are going to lose this game, let's just get a bit of kill momentum, get the game close going into map 2, so it gives you a bit of a momentum shift going into the series. But they're actually picking up kills and holding this. They're holding this really well, and they're just beginning to heat up a wee bit. But Proxima just answers back with 2 big ones before Laura does take him down. Big fight here, just to hold on to that scrap, and it's a massive win from Laura. If you can manage to finesse her life right now, it's in a bit of trouble, going to be stunned and weak and naded in the end. Void looking to try and trade that one out. Sees one in bottom gym with a big kill, but the guys on Legion have got the setup, and they're looking to close it out here, Mark.
Yeah, and it looks like Zombie is just taking a little bit of a chill here in the hot tub. He hops up, tries to look for 1 kill. Proxima will find it, and there's going to be these couple of players here that could actually win it here, and there's only 24 seconds needed. But it's a good wee break to be had, and the Project Rose, no, they have to have every single second possible from here on out, otherwise this game will be well and truly over. That's going to be a call in for a streak. It's going to be finding 1. Going to find 2. Steve and Void will fall to that forward in the feed. That is going to be control of P1. UGT Legion going to hold the rest of Project Rose at bay in towards that P2 side. And with it 13 seconds away, this gunfight will be massive. Zombie wins it. 1 more player is going to find the fight. Cozy's going to have to jump down and challenge us. Doesn't have to go for it too much. They're 10 seconds away from the win. And it's a big comeback needed here from Project Rose if they're going to find any chance of winning this match. But it doesn't look likely. NP2 sorted.
Close to touch it. Yeah, I think that might just be it. Once that kill goes down there, trades out. I don't think they can even get to it time mark, and that is all she wrote. UGT Legion, pretty good opening statement right there.
Yeah, a solid start. 250 to 166. What a scoreline, and yeah, a very strong start. And both teams started off completely different in the grand scheme of things. UGT absolutely outslaying Zombie. Look at that, 33 and 18, and that was the little feed that we've seen. He was just absolutely dominating in the kill feed, and it's so many clips there made from it. Him and Proxima both looking solid for it, and it was really difficult to see who was actually the standout player between the 2 teams there. But a 250 to 166 that will go the way of UGT Legion. We'll switch over to that and we'll show you that scoreline in just a second, just so we are known what's going on, because Mark of G is a little bit slow today. Yeah, it's been a long week and the wife's not here, so I've had to do everything today, which is also much fun as well. But there we go, scores on the doors there as UGT take map number 1 on Skyline. We'll be heading to that Rewind Search and Destroy, where it's going to be a different slow-paced game, thankfully, for that Project Rose side. They'll be hoping that maybe swings in their favour a little bit, because that was pretty much taken away from them quite convincingly, and we'll need a little bit of flow, but they started to heat up near the end. So that's all that matters. They might be warmed up now for this game and ready to go.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've seen teams lose by worse scores. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. You've still got another 2 maps to kind of redeem yourself, possibly 5, depending on how it goes. They did start heating up towards the end. It was just a little bit too late. You know what I mean? That last bathroom hold was actually pretty sound, but when you've got Slain like Zombie and Oproxima like on the other team, it was always going to be an uphill battle. But good thing is now though you caught a wee bit of momentum going into the end of that game right there. Hopefully you can kind of just keep that going into the Rewind S&D. You know, I don't know much about either team, but maybe they're, you know, more fundamentally confident on S&D, especially a map like Rewind, where if you've not really practiced it, then you could be in trouble. So yeah, it just changes the speed of the game a wee bit. I think the guys on Rose just kind of, what's the word? They found it difficult with the speed in which UGT Legion were actually playing with. So a slower paced game in Rewind S&D might actually suit them here.
Yeah, well, there's an extra person in the lobby, and guess what? It is that name of Dom. I assume Dutch Kelly was just filling in for now for game 1 to start. We'll wait and see if she does switch out here for game number 2, and we'll see. Ah, Dom was stuck in traffic. There you go. That's the joys of Call of Duty and when you're working days. Like, we don't have this as a living, not all of us anyway. At least that is sadly not the case. Some of us, we have to do some work. And Dutch Kelly did a good job. Jumped in. He's complaining about potholes in the chat as well, which is always fun. But yeah, I hope they're keeping the team one. So then we're keeping it as it goes into Rewind, but they are switching sides. So I will have to wait till they all do that. But yeah. In terms of Rewind then, strategy-wise, go and talk through a little bit of things that potentially could be happening on the cards. We've seen multiple games where we've seen that early nade coming out well and getting a couple of kills in the feed. When you see that from these teams, I think UGT could be well on to do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting, a couple of games that we have watched on Rewind S&D. I think, you know, just referencing those nades that you mentioned before, there was teams that just had them down to a T, and it just gives you that wee kickstart of a round. As soon within 10 seconds, you're already up a life. Do you know what I mean? Just something simple as going into a private match and practicing a nade line spot. You look at Rewind, it's been recently added, so teams have been playing it a wee bit differently. What you tend to see is though towards A Street, with Diner and that, it's very AR heavy. Okay, so you usually send 1 or 2 ARs, 2 subs through the A building, or maybe you have one sub rushing through Diner. If you are the attacking side and deciding to go B side round by the caravan, that area by the truck, you tend to see it quite fast paced, quite sub heavy. Lots of pre-stuns, lots of nades going on. But really, what you've got to do is if you're on defense, you've just got to cut the map perfectly. You've just got to get info as early on in the round as you can, and then work together as a team to rotate between bomb sites. But having one person just kind of being the spotter for in case there's like a sneak rotation or a sneak flank going on the other side. But that's why your equipment's so important on this map. Get the early information, maybe tag someone up, maybe even get a first blood. So yeah, it's gonna be crucial to see how the first 15 to 20 seconds of rounds play out in this one.
Yeah, exactly that. Well, I'm going to have to say a big massive shout out to everybody that just came in the chat there, because they all came in at once. And funny enough, it is the whole team of UGT, Proxima, Zombie, Riley. Welcome. I'm just missing one, I think, actually. And maybe Cozy's not there, but we need a Cozy. Come on, get a Cozy in here. Also MC and Michael Rowden, which is the husband of Miss Laura Rowden here in the game as well. So the support is coming in, and I like to see it. That being said, if you guys are all watching that stream, I might well, it's S&D, put that map overlay on there, because that's a bit like, very strange timing. Maybe not, maybe it isn't, but it just happens to be. We'll put a wee bit here. They're still waiting on an extra member to leave. Dutch Kelly somehow left and then came back, so the question mark in it, Cam, we're talking about it. Oh, okay, they're talking. Do they keep Dutch Kelly on board, or do they chuck Dom, who was the starting roster? Oh, that's a little bit touchy. Their subject there. Dom's made his effort to get back in after all them bloody potholes. He'll not be happy if another pothole in the road's going to kick him out of this game. And it doesn't look like that's happening. It actually looks like they're dropping somebody else, because it is Void, Laura, Dutch, and Dom. So Steve seems to be the one dropped out. I think that's where we're keeping it. So yeah, an interesting change of roster plans. Dutch Kelly being the pickup and is getting kept on as a sub. Interesting.
Well, I mean, they must be happy with the performance going on to the first map. I mean, I would dare say there was a couple of potholes in the holes on their hard points there, not to be too harsh on it, but hopefully with a regular roster player, if Dom's there, I assume hopefully that'll tidy it up if we do make it to another hard point. But yeah, no, S&D, don't know, maybe they might even just have a stronger S&D team, the 4 that they've selected. Might even see a different player come in for control, who knows.
Yeah, exactly that. We're hearing it's everybody already in voice comm, so you guys won't hear it, but I do, and I think that means they're just making sure before they get started they've got their 4 on 4. We're going into rewind, search and destroy, different game, different mode idea. Let's see if there'll be a different change of plan and how these girls play it. I'm saying girls. I don't know if Dom is a girl. To be fair, might not be. Might be. Might just be the naming game. But we're getting into it, and it's going to be hopefully a win on favor of that Project Rose side, because we want to see more than just 3 maps. That's for sure. We want to see more. We want to see at least 4, potentially 5, map 11, around 11. So that's what we want.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the hope since we started doing these, Mark. Yet to see it yet. It came close in the last one with Game 5, but yeah, no, looking forward to seeing how Project Rose actually react to that first loss. They have had a bit of time in between the map, just to go over a few strats and all that, and I mean, just hopefully get a bit of momentum going in this one. If you get the first round, it's massive, and it could have been a great first blood. Proxima and Zombie again, just picking up where they left off on from map 1, and getting first 2 kills. Opening up that A site for them, and I should see the plant going down soon. Great read from Riley, and suddenly Void is in a 1v4.
Yeah, what a difficult task. Finds one though onto Cozy. Now turns, tries to snap onto Riley. Knows he's there, but it's going to be shot in the back. It's not going to be good enough here. And UGT with a 4 versus 1 scenario. If you lose it, you'd be very much surprised at yourself. Whereas Project Rose at least found one of the kills along the way. Not enough though to kind of find any more. Or did they actually? Yeah, they almost found 2. They almost got Riley, but not enough.
Yeah, now you have to say the guys on the UGT we mentioned about pre-strats before we actually started. Lie down spots just predicting exactly where the guys on Project Rose are going to come from, and I mean, it worked down to a T. Whether it was a guess, whether it was a lucky play, or whether they've actually been in private matches or wagers themselves practicing over it, it worked for them, and they found themselves 1-0 up.
Yeah, so this time round, the attacking side is going to be Project Rose. They're going straight down in towards A site. Going to open and make a lot of noise. Goes for that first gunfight, and a lot of snaps on a 1. Traded out though by Riley. And we're going to get Proxima finding Dutch. Now Void is going to be able to try and find the trade. 2 players do manage to make it out. But look at what she handled. Does see him at the side of that shelf rack. Void, Cozy shaking back and forward. Look at it. Oh, Riley's getting the snake play in. Void doesn't care. He turns and snaps, and that's it. Another kill going the way of Project Rose. 2 versus 2 scenario. The bomb is retrieved.
Yeah, they won't know it yet, but they have got a free B plant, and they are aiming towards A, but straight away, Dom getting a kill, and Battle getting another unfight here. If Cozy is good timing-wise, might just get him off bomb, but the bomb is down. It's going to be a 1v1. Is he going to read this gunfight coming up here? Caught reloading. It's very unfortunate. It's COD timing at its finest. Project Rose back on the board, tying the game up 1-1.
Yeah, there we go. It's a tied up game, and a better round there for Project Rose. Finding the first blood, finding a couple of kills along the way, and keeping it into a 3 versus 1. Dom Cooper well finished off. It looked like it was going to be ended, but it wasn't to be. And Project Rose are finally getting it around on the board after only 2, so that's not so bad. They're not at least falling a couple of rounds behind. It is literally neck and neck, back and forward. Both attacking rounds coming out on top. We'll see if that will continue the trend here as Zombie and Proxima, who we've been looking at from map 1, were absolutely phenomenal. They got the first couple of kills early on in the first match and first round, but now it's trade after trade. Zombie snaps onto 1, almost caught Laura, but he'll be traded out. Now you've got a 2 versus 2, and it's Laura Dom versus Proxima and Cozy, who's going to come on top of this one.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a standoff here. It's going to be a gunfight right here. Is Cozy going to get out of his life? He does. He decides wisely to back up. Doesn't know there's another player on the pinch, however. But both are there. Hopefully a trade's come out in the favour of UGT if they play it correctly. I don't think Project Rose are quite sure they're on B-bomb yet, but maybe starting to get a hint now as they're beginning to rotate over. It's going to be a crucial point right here by this player on the right-hand side if they can get that kill.
Oh, Proxima though is the one to find the kill. Now, Laura on her own, 1 versus 2. Spots that player, but I don't think she actually spots what Proxima was willing to do there. Proxima now stops. Oh my god, the snappy. Unbelievable finish there, and LB UGT taking a 2-1 lead. The Dominators arrive, says Michael Rowden, and he has arrived. Why is the map blocked? Because every single person hit that follow button at the exact same time from the team of UGT. I know there's a 30-second delay, but if it's a slow round, there's going to be a chance to see people if they're not moving. Just in case, chat.
Yeah, you have to say, Zombie and Proxima have both got very good shots on them, and it's making a world of difference. You know, gunfights you wouldn't expect them to win, like just that last one right there, just gives them that upper hand in sort of situational plays. I have to say, Void had a good round the round before, actually. It was a great read on the guy pinching, managed to get the kill to get the round, so I'm just hoping Project Rose managed to slow it down a wee bit, use a couple more of their tacticals, and it's a great first kill from Void again, being the standout player on this Project Rose side, but it's answered back by Riley quickly onto Laura. Dutch Kelly in a important position right now, unknown that there is a player just outside the door, and probably wisely backs up to regroup with her teammates. Looking for that kill in mid right now.
The problem with Project Rose, I think, is the fact they dropped that bomb, right? And what if they know that, and if that's UGT Legion just playing around that, because they're in that man advantage and don't have to worry about it just now, because they're staying inside that zone area. Dutch Kelly's trying to find a rotation around, trying to find any hidden players hiding, but they're not waiting, they're not bringing up any information. Riley though, oh my god, how does he even win that gunfight there? That is something else.
Coming in from stage there, but regardless, manages to stay alive well, and it's going to be all she wrote on that round as well. UGT Legion beginning to pull away a wee bit here. Mark now 3-1 up in the map, and you know they're kind of just leaving where they left off in map 1. It's just winning all the gunfights they need to win. To be honest, all the 50-50s going the way of them.
Yeah, exactly that. Cozy was looking nice to quickly turn on to Laura there in the end. And yeah, UGT Legion definitely know how to win their gunfights, and that's the fact here. 3-1 up. It shows that in the end. Now, with an attacking round, you've got Proxima once again continuing his trend of getting kills. And actually staying alive quite well, considering he's had 4 rounds. He's only died twice. He's managed to find 5 kills in these 4 rounds. It's a good little stat straight away, but he's going to be looking to try and find the players down this lane. However, Void, once again, opening blood goes their way. Can they keep control of that advantage, though?
You have to say, Void's doing everything he can to actually give them a bit of a foothold on the map. He's in a great position right now. Probably not the gun you want to be in that position of the map, but switching out with Dutch Kelly, maybe a bit of comms saying, yeah, the sub would be better in that corner right there, but I think they might know bombs down as well, actually, just with the way Kelly's playing it right now. But will she know there's a player coming through hole to pick up that bomb in a second? Problem I'm seeing with Project Rose right now is they're all kind of changing positions and moving around quite quickly, opposed to just kind of, you know, sticking together in a group and just holding certain angles. But yeah, 3v3, so it's anyone's game right now. Big opening kill right there from Proxima. Suddenly it swings in favour of UGT Legion again.
Oh, very slow, very tentative. Now, gunfight goes. Void wins that onto Riley. The chance for the trade is coming in. No, they managed to regather that bomb. 2 versus 2. Timing. They have to go for the bomb plant. Are they going to see it? Proxima's managed to find the player coming in the back. That was Dutch Kelly. And they get the bomb down. Now they got themselves the advantage. Void has a big hand to do this too. He's got a 1 versus 2. He's been finding the kills in the game, but not going to find any more. That's it. A good round win.
So unfortunate from Void there, actually, because there was a couple of chances he actually had to actually get that kill. See, when he was staged, he backed up. It wasn't known to him, but he could have reshelled the bomb right there, and the other player totally given it up, but because they would have assumed he just ran away and he didn't. But you know, that's the thing with S&D and the beauty of Codcaster. We can see things that they can't. So what we might think is an obvious play might not be in that heat at the moment. You know, when the adrenaline's pumping. But Void doing everything he can to keep Project Rose in this right now. But Proxima. You know, he's early card on for MVP of this series right now. He was unbelievable in the hardpoint, and he is now 7-2 in the S&D as UGT Legion are 4-1 up.
Yeah, he's definitely a player to keep an eye on, and he's doing fantastic work. Speaking of that man, once again he finds one, he finds second. Dom and Laura both fall to the same gun in the same magazine set, and all of a sudden he's in a 9 versus 2, and he's going to potentially look for the other one because Dutch Kelly's just around that corner. He doesn't know it, but he might have heard the door open and swing. Here's the gunshots now though, and the teammates were going to follow that. Zombie sends the nade. Void gets the kill though. Still got the advantage though. One man for UGT. Extra on their side. Voido is going to get the pick on a Proxima, but it doesn't matter. Proxima wins that gunfight as well, and he's on for the ace.
Yeah, I can't even say his name. Proxima is just absolutely everything right now. He's a class above. I have to say, you have to be brutally honest. He is just winning every single gunfight he needs to. You know, he's winning his situations well. Positioning's good. And mechanically, really, really good right now. And it's just given. How would you say? See, when you're in the moment in these maps, it just feels once you've got that much control of a map, you cannot lose it, and that's why you're finding UGT Legion 5-1 up right now. He's just doing it all for the squad right now.
Yeah, Proxima is now into double figures here, 10 and 2, not died for quite some time. 5 straight going his way as well, and now is he going to try and find more? Is he going to be able to build towards using these streaks? Is he going to find a house on? But there's only one round though to win, and if they do win it, it's not going to chance. Even if he gets all 4 dead, there's not going to be a chance to use it. So what's he going to be doing here? This is going to be interesting. R60 is going to come out. That timing is going to be perfect. Oh my god. What's going on? Zombie will find a kill as well. Now it's down to Dom, who gets one trade on towards Zombie, but it's Dutch Kelly and Dom Cooper, the 2 players that need to kind of switch on a little bit here. Proxima at range still. Surely Dom's not going to channel that for too long.
If you're Proxima, you must be really feeling yourself right now. When you're locked in, and suddenly Riley gets another kill, so it is all down to Dom to keep them in this game. The plus side is he's got the turn on to Proxima right now when he's in 1v1 and has seen the other player who he knows needs to plant the bomb. So if he can just play the time correctly, he's deciding to chal it with 13 seconds left. Oh, it's a 2v1 actually, my bad. Will he win that one? Not quite. He's just going to play his life, and it's pretty much all she wrote. So that's the game done there, Mark.
That is the game done. UGT take it in a quite convincing fashion, just as they already did in that hard point. 6-1 on the scores, and yeah, Proxima, like one-man band. He can pretty much do everything at this point. He is looking good for MVP status already. It's only 2 games in, but it could be more than halfway past now. It looks like the way that their form is on, I'm not seeing anybody that's going to step up and make a difference here in his control. Dutch and Laura not having the best of S&Ds, Void and Dom though. We're keeping themselves steady and keeping themselves in it for the majority of the time though. But UGT take a 2-map lead going into game 3. We're going to see Vault control, and I feel like it is just going to be meaning it's going to be a 3-0. I'm afraid to say it just looks like that's the way the card's going.
Yeah, sometimes it's so hard to bounce back from that. You get your S&Ds to try and get you back into it, but you know, control, it's one of those games, you know, if you do win it, it does give you that option, but again, then you know you've just got to play a fundamentally sound hardpoint team on Hacienda, which is, you know, very rotation heavy, and UGT Legion just eating to have that down to a T, but not going to write them off yet, you know what I mean? They might have some good strats in control. All it takes is, you know, 1 wave of kills, a 4 stack on the hill, and that's you captured it. So if you're inside of Project Rose, you've just got to forget about the first 2 maps. Just have to go into this with a clear mind, figured, right, 3 maps, we can pull this back. It's been done by many teams before. I'm sure we'll see it again at some point, but I'm with you on this one. I think it might be a closing out series on Vault here.
Yeah, closing out series. And speaking of a closing out series, there we go. There's that beautiful map of Vault. We're going to see the control. I actually feel, and I don't want it to be the case either, but I feel like it could also be a 3-0 in the control to take the 3-0 in the series. I don't want it to go that way. I want to see more Call of Duty. I want to see more rounds, and I want to see Project Rose shown a little bit more oomph behind it, and a little bit more. This, like, get some kills on the board, get yourself a good opportunity, and potentially take at least a map off of them.
Yeah, you hope to see it, but I think this map is just so AR dominant in the power positions, and you know, Zombie and Proxima, we've seen what they've been doing all series long. They've just had it on T, so something pretty big is going to have to change, and it is started off with a wee 2 dead on the side of UGT Legion. Project Rose stepping up quite well, but Proxima again on the POV just kept winning gunfights that you maybe shouldn't be winning. Zombie with another one picking up, and suddenly the tables have flipped, and UGT Legion have got a chance now to stack onto this A point.
Yeah, that's it. One more kill from Proxima once again. 3 straight keeping things alive. Now, on to A. They go. Taking that ticks of progression. Stunned out though. Proxima will fall. Still members around to help that out. But Void finds another. Cozy gets the trade. Can they keep control of the A tick? That is no, as Laura will find Cozy, and they're going to be able to stop that time and reduce that little tick that has been made, almost there towards a secure, but the defence exactly from Project Rose are pushing up and now trying to get them in that spawn trap. There, a lot around defence, another one that's free dead in the feed. It's looking good here now from Project Rose as they've got them 4-man advantage.
It's great to see a wee bit of life coming out of them just now. You know, they had the 4 dead and they didn't exactly turtle. They kind of tried to hit the spawn, but Proxima once again getting 2 kills. The big kill on the map, getting Zombie away because Zombie's been killing all sorts all series long and having a wee bit of a slow one right now, and it's really what you need on the side of Project Rose to slow one or the 2 players down. And I tell you what, 20 seconds left, there's not that much tick progression. They've actually, you know what I mean, come out surprised us here, Mark, but still time for the guys on UGT to actually win this round. It would have been a huge kill right there. Void's in a brilliant position with 10 seconds left. You've just got to play the spawners and hopefully your teammates can clear the guys up in points.
And Laura's just doing what she needs to do, finding the 2-piece that stops the time ticks for a second now. But 2.0 seconds it is on the screen, and there we go, down to 1. Can they hold it out? Yes, they can. A round win goes away, Project Rose. I am so much more happier now that Rose has got that one at least in the control, holding the defense strong and looking good for it. Proxima though still had a fantastic round considering.
It's what you need to see from Project Rose. You couldn't really got a much better. Hardly any ticks onto either side. So do you know what I mean? If you're the guys in Project Rose, you've now got an attack. See if you just get more than 1 tick. Then use it. If you get 1 tick, you're tying up the game. If you get 2, you're in the lead.
No, there was no tick made. There was no tick made. It was 0.
Oh, was it? I thought it was up. I managed to get that one.
It almost got 8 and they stopped it before the end. So I mean, that's exactly what you want, right? A 0 tick hold.
I mean, you couldn't get any better. You could not get any better. So you've got to take confidence from that one, and it surely should put a wee bit of a spring in the step. But that's an unfortunate start with Laura managing to kill herself. But regardless, it was 2 kills, 3 kills now on the way of Project Rose, and hopefully you start that point, get that point, gives you the advantage.
Oh, it's so close. It was so close, but he's going to go to hop it. He's decided to go off. Laura could have stayed on and got that time there. At least 1 tick of progression made. Decided to go off of it, jump over the bar. Dutch Kelly tries to go around the outskirts, and now the defense have got them pinned back.
Zombies turn it on right now, but Dom's in a great position. He will not, the players on UGT Legion will not read that free flank onto bridge, and he's probably playing it well. Doesn't need to play the guys that are pushed up the map just now. Try play the spawners too that are going to come on spawn soon. Hopefully you can get your teammates onto the point and ticket, but it's just kills are going the way of UGT Legion right now. Unfortunate timing right there, but it doesn't matter because Dom is going to absolutely put one in the ground, and Proxima just there to reply like he has done all series long.
Nice wee snap on to there. Laura needs to try and peek here. That ticks of call completely frozen once again, and the defense is doing exactly what happened last time round. Proxima's on a 5 streak. He's already past double figures. He's looking good in his control as he has been looking all series. Cozy finds another kill, and I feel like every single time we're on Cozy's POV, he seems to be stuttering more than anybody else. It's so strange. Like, I don't understand. What has he got on differently than anybody else has? Because his movement doesn't look as smooth. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully you bring that POV up one more time so we'll get a second look at it. You've just brought it to my attention right there. But yeah, Cozy getting another kill right there just to secure the round, and just like that, you know what I mean? All you needed was 1 tick to kind of give yourself that advantage, but UGT Legion with a pretty sound defense as well. Maybe just have to wake themselves up. It's not over yet. 1-1 on the map right now.
Yeah, 1-1, and yeah, here's even in the replay, Cozy on movement, it looks like it's the whole screen is stuttering around him. It's weird. I don't know if it's my eyes, but nobody else seems to be feeling that way. I don't know if I'm just seeing things. So strange.
Start off with him on this round. We'll see what he's doing. But yeah, no, great reply from UGT Legion. It has to be said. Once again, you couldn't have got much better defense on control, getting 0 ticks of progression for the enemy team. So yeah, that's 1-1, tied it up. But Project Rose, you've now got a defense. Hopefully, you can replicate what you did in the first round.
Yeah, exactly. We're on board with Cozy once again. No, starting off, he's 12-8. He's looking good as well in this round. But as he moves, everything around him looks like the stutter. It's so strange.
Yeah, and they are just about to get that. Yeah, I'm seeing as well. They are about to get that tick of progression, so they have taken the lead in terms of picks, but it's a big free down from Project Rose. Interesting to see how they play out this round. They push for the spawners right now. Dutch is probably gonna manages to get away. I thought she's gonna have bad timing there, but she's managed to play her life right there. She gets this kill. It's big. Now you can set up for the spawn trap. Great position for Project Rose just now. Dutch just maybe pushing out P2, knowing they're spawning there. It's interesting to see how they play it, because usually I would hold back, but it doesn't really matter. She's picking up kills and knows one underground as well. So yeah, good start from Project Rose. It's what we want to see. It's a bit more life in this game.
MC, nobody is calling nobody a cheat. I just said it's weird on his POV stutters. I never said anything about a fucking cheat there. I just said it stutters more when you're on his POV. I don't know what that means, but if you're instantly calling cheats on it, saying that I'm saying that, I mean, maybe that's what the case is. I don't know, but nobody's calling that. I just said it seems strange. Nothing called cheats. There we go. It'd be a strange cheat because it'd be deficit, surely. It wouldn't help you.
Yeah, no, it's a funny one. Neither of us mentioned that. But yeah, anyway, Project Rose looking good for the defense. 15 seconds left, and they're up considerably in lives right now. Big kill from Laura. Can they trade out? The trades need to be there. Secure this round. Get yourself one more attack. Get a couple more points.
Oh, it's done. Could this be it? All 4 dead. Pushing back. They're going to be able to get all 4 players stacked on that zone. They do it now. The stuns come in though. Can they win the gunfights? It's 3 dead. 1 more to kill. Dutch Kelly keeps it alive, but not for long. The tick of progression is made. An extra minute is added, and it's looking good here. But Project, well, Rose have got the advantage in numbers at least. It's going to be the attacking side that's going to have to try and find a couple of picks before they start making progression towards B. And if anybody's going to do it...
Yeah, the problem is those lives have absolutely dwindled for the side of Project Rose, and right now 3 down here in a world of trouble. There's only 1 up to slow
on from the spawn. Proxima's got them all red as well. There's 1. I'm trying to read the next, but can't find that one. Zombies on the tick, so at least getting some more secure progression potentially here over towards B, but the nade's going to spam it, and all of a sudden that car will cause the explosion that will kill Zombie's life. Laura goes to stop that tick, rightly so. But you're down to only 2 members left from UGT.
Yeah, good positioning from Roy. Just doesn't need to chal out, doesn't need to extend. 4v1 on the side of Proxima. If anyone's going to do it in this series, it's going to be him, I would have to say. And just don't know if he knows where the rest of the members are. If he gets that top art, problem is he's got 2. He's going to kill 1. If he doesn't name track it, he's not going to know there's a second one up there. Doesn't, and it is Project Rose taking that round. Tell you what. Some good defense held from him because it looked a wee bit scary for a while there, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. What a fantastic thing. Sorry, I'm just trying to look back and chat a second there. You didn't miss it. It's just, remember there's a 30-second delay. You're going to get your sound alert coming up at some point. Don't you worry, child. Don't get too annoyed. But Miss Nordic, how are you doing? Welcome along. If Ashton was playing, they wouldn't be losing control right now. Oh. We'll have to know who he plays for. What does cold mean? It's ice in the veins is what that means, Laura. You're meant to be playing, not chatting in chat though. Let's get locked in here as now you've got an attack to take and you've got more ticks to be getting made because you're 3 ticks down. That means that the defense is going in favour of Project UGT region. I keep doing the same as what you're wanting to call Project Legion. It seems to be easier to say off the tongue, but Riley with a double nade off the rip. What a start to your defensive round.
Yeah, well, he's been practicing that one for sure. You know, it's a day one strat, and it's still paying off right now. No one surprised, no one threw a trophy off the rip of that. But Void getting a big kill right there. But the guys on UGT just seem to be, you know, winning those gunfights at this crucial minute right now. Big reply from Laura right there. You just need to stabilize a wee bit, just get a couple of kills, and then push onto that point. Because like you said, they only need 3 ticks, and then they might have defense for the last round if it goes that way.
Let's see what they can do here. Riley and Zombie though combined to find 2 of Project Rose. Now you have to change your strategy up here because it's not working right now. Dutch Kelly does find Cozy and Laura's deciding, right, I'm going to sneak towards B and try and get on that. Now look at this Dutch Kelly position. Going to read it as well. Cozy's there. Can't win the gunfight onto Cozy though, and they're going to be playing chicken early. Eventually will find it. Laura is still getting that tick progression made towards B, and now going up towards Art. Is going to be watching the position in the back because if Kelly knows the reads of these spawns, you'll know there'll be a player coming in towards back to Chow, and there he is. Riley comes sliding on in. He wins the gunfight. Laura's finished off as well, and that will be the progression stop. But they managed to get 1 tick over towards B, and now they're stacking on towards A. Can they get the kills they need though? That is 2 dead. Make that a checkerboard back and forward, but the defense holding strong. Only 1 tick made for Project Rose. Dom has to go big here now.
It's a big kill, and he almost had it there, but Riley replies. A big kill from him. Void needs to go absolutely massive. Doesn't manage to. Proxima once again getting another 2-piece, keeping his team in it right now. The lives are dwindling, the time's dwindling right now. You've got 1 more push if you are on the side of Project Rose. You need to play together, but Zombie's just cutting them down. I don't think there's going to be enough time here, Mark. 1 second remaining.
That's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. It's a free 1 on the cards. It wasn't Oh no, it's not
Oh,
yet. It's
it's
a 2-2. It's a 2-2, but it's a 3-0 on the cards, it looks like, because they've got a hold of defense, and their defense has been so strong. No offense, I felt like that was a 3-1 for some reason. My brain got myself ahead of the game. But the play that they're playing, I don't think it's going to be stopped. I don't think you're going to be able to push out and get both A and B secured to at least win the map. I'm afraid Project Rose have got the difficult task ahead of them. But they're not written off yet. Hopefully they can do something of it. But UGT Legion have got 2 players well over 20. They got Proxima closing in on 30 kills. Looking to see if he can get 30 at least, maybe even more. We're still on board with Proxima for the start of this defense.
Yeah, I haven't seen that nade come out that we've seen in the last round, which did give them a bit of a foothold, but they look like they're going towards a B play on the side of Project Rose, and the guys on UGT just becoming wise to it, taking routes underground to trying to cut them off right now. The important thing is for the Rotos right now is if you manage to get 2 or 3 down, you can jump that point. All you need is 1 wave of kills, and then you're in. It's a great kill from Void.
Oh, that was almost it. Void finds 2. But the teammates weren't there to help find the rest. Managed to stop though that and get onto the time here, trying to make ticks towards A. That's mostly the plan. You go over towards B, make sure everybody rotates that way, win some gunfights at least, push them further back, and then you stack A. And it's exactly what they've done here. Only 1 player nearby to deal with is going to be Riley, who's been doing quite well for himself, but has backed off a little bit, and the progression is going to be made. An extra minute's going to be added, and Project Rose have secured A. This is the first time we've seen such a solid start to their attacking round.
It's a great start, but straight away you see Riley making that route, staying alive for well over a minute now. Managed to get a 2-piece, and Cozy replying with 1 for his own checkbook. Proxima once again in a great position to pick up a kill, and must know they're spawning over towards P2. If he's tracked it correctly, he'll know they're already out, but he's maybe just playing for 1. Void trying to push up and getting cut down by Riley once again, and he is traded out by Laura. The positives on the side of Project Rose is you've got a minute and a half to get B. That is just 1 kill trade that you need. One kill feed, apologies, that you need, and then you could be good for the win here. But yeah, a lot to do still, a lot of COD still to play.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Dutch as she starts to pull out the knife instead. The jump back though works out well for UGT Legion. From up top, Art Zombie's going to get the back of Laura. Going to then snap onto Dutch Kelly, maybe even onto Void, but no, Cozy will find Dom. That means that Void's still there. He's going to notice that he's trying to peek the corner and he's on his floor, and that's going to be an easy head, couple of shots there. And there we go, Zombie on a 4-streak, 26 and 20. Backs off a little bit though, and this is a little bit better of a hold here now as UGT Legion are in control with the 8 life deficit that they have against Project Rose. It's good for the defense.
Now they held pretty strong. Zombie did everything he can just to keep him far away from B as possible. Proxima, once again, you find him just in the perfect space. Wise trigger discipline, not shooting the first one because he wouldn't have got that last kill if he had shot. But once again, he knows exactly where the guys are going to be pushing for, and the defense is setting up strong. You're in a world of trouble here, Project Rose. If you're going to do it, you're going to need to do it now.
Oh, that's 3 dead in the fade. I swear this is going to be a massive push needed to try and make this secure, but you're on 18 versus 4. There is literally no way in hell I've seen a comeback of all comebacks if it happens. Proxima and Zombie both on 5 sprays. Make that only Zombie now because Proxima is found. Is he going to make it 6? He does to end the round. And ladies and gentlemen, our round will finally be done. It's not the 3-1 I said. It's the 3-2 win in the control. But that means that it is a 3-0 and a little bit of a closer scenario. I actually thought it was going to be an easy, fair enough win across the board there for that one on the control, but they started to get better as the games had progressed. The S&D was obviously not the best. 6-1 is a bit unfortunate, but yeah, Proxima, I mean, you just can't outslay the boy. He has been absolutely slaying the lobby from start to finish, from each individual game mode has all been all on his case, and now I'm going to show you across the screen. There we go, is your final scores on the doors, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, quick 3-0. You summed it up. Proxima was absolutely everything that map, but see, to be fair, all of them chipped in at individual points. Riley, a really good control out of him. Probably you don't see it as much on the scoreboard, but for some of the routes that he actually did take, and power positions he took up, just to be a nuisance in their spawn or just taking certain routes. It really actually just benefited his team. A utilizer, as some people would say. But yeah, Zombie chipping as well. Cozy did his thing, but for me, Proxima was just absolutely everything on that whole series. Hardpoint, S&D, and control.
Yeah, he was an absolute pinnacle of that team. Like you could not stop him. He was going big when he needed to. It wasn't just getting kills and going around and doing what he had to do. He was finding the kills everywhere at the right times. A couple of sprees that you never actually really seen very much overall in terms of like kill feed, but like massive sprees, like a couple of 5 sprays, a couple of 6 here and there, but there wasn't like zombie spray, which he went on quite a nice wee one in map number 1. But overall, Proxima, that was definitely, oh my god, what a game from you. I can't even remember if I could spell the name right. Proxima.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not always just about, the actual kill streaks, but he was good for at least 2 every single life. I would love to see what his total KD was across the whole series there, but I mean, if you're good for 2 or 3 kills every single life, you've seen multiple 2-pieces from the boy. It's just so hard to combat that when someone's shooting like that throughout an entire series, no matter what game mode, what position they're in, whether they're up close or at range. He was just doing it all. So have to give massive props to Proxima. Very well played for me, mate. Yeah, looking forward to seeing more of you in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing more UGT. I even know I'm a big fan of the Project Rose girls because they're very sound, but in fairness, they need to kind of change things a little bit. Maybe the switch around between having Dom and Sheaf and such like maybe may changed a few things of the dynamics. They definitely did get a little bit better in that control in terms of slaying and working around it. But overall, it was definitely not a good enough here to face up against the likes of UGT Legion. That scores on the doors though is 3-0. Well done, Proxima in the chat as well. GG's for that. Well done. It was a great showing from you. That being said, we're on about Project Rose, right? I have another cast for Project Rose on Wednesday, by the way, Strubo, if you're around and you wish to do it. It is, funny enough, against another female roster. So it's going to be IGL Inner Yes versus Project Rose, but this time it's going to be in the ACL. And I'll be looking forward to seeing these because I know that Laura was saying they have beat the girls of IGL NRS. And you know what? When I've been watching NRS, they've looked pretty decent across the board and they've been getting some good wins against some really good teams as well. So that's been my Inglorious girls. I mean, we'll see if they can hold their own here against Project Rose because this was a bit of a different showing here up against a team like UGT. So might be more of a fairer match. Later on in the week, if you're around to come along and cast that one as well and watch the girls. And Dom, I'm assuming, is not a girl, but we can't write them off of that. Maybe it is, but yeah, if you wanted to, you could always come along and watch that one too.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be around for that one. I think they're never going to be judged on games like today's against UGT Legion. Whether the UGT Legion really are just like final boss for that series, or maybe Project Rose just had an off day. It can even be both, right? You're not going to be judged on that. The important thing is now is like how you go away from that and learn from the mistakes you made. What VODs you're going to go over. What things you're going to tidy up, going forward as a core group of 4. Because yeah, no, you've seen glimpses of good fundamentals in there, but unfortunately the slaying on the side of UGT was just too much for them today. But yeah, not looking forward to seeing them bounce back on Wednesday. Hopefully we'll get a closer game, I will say, just for the love of
For
watching
us.
more COD. But yeah,
For
for us,
us.
I watch more COD.
We
Maybe
need
get
to
our map 5.
practice.
Maybe get
Yeah,
our map 5 round 11 in that one.
we
But
can
yeah, no.
only hope.
Yeah, no, but no, it was good showing from them. But again, you just have to give props to Legion tonight. They were just on fire. So, you can't really dispute the result. Just good call all round from them.
Yeah, well done, UGT Legion, and well done, Project Rose, for putting on an effort of a show, and thanks for giving us the chance to cast your guys, and we'll also see you again, because funny enough, it was Laura, it was like, you free on Wednesday? I was like, I don't know yet, and then I got a message from one of our owners in the IGL going, you able to cast on Wednesday? And I was like, what's the game? And he went and said the exact same game that Laura was speaking about, Project Rose, and I was like, well, actually, I didn't know you were playing against IGL. I mean, I'll be doing that then because it's IGL. So yeah, definitely we'll be seeing you again on Wednesday. Good luck for that one, and get some practice and see what you girls have got to bring to the table against the girls of IGL. And for Stribble, thank you very much again for joining me. We will take it to the replays of that series and we'll catch you again on Wednesday. Catch you soon.
get a bit of momentum going in this one. If you get the first round, it's massive, and it could have been a great first blood. Proxima Zombie again, just picking up where they left off from map 1, and getting first 2 kills.
Legendary.
Opening up that A side for them, and should see the flank going down soon.
I'm legendary.
Just with the top going and able to work plus the time you can. And just like that, they have been moving, and as you can see, they are spawning out. You're looking at the time, 30 seconds left on the hill. By the time you get there, you're maybe playing for 10, 15 seconds. You've got a bit of dilemma going on, maybe just
let's go. Out of the dust.
Riley's
A legend is born. Born for the game.
Keeping an eye on Zombie though, gets a massive 2 inside kitchen here. Potentially going to add to the
and out of the gates, I am the storm, I am the thunder, I am the eye of the hurricane. Yeah, cause I'm the only one that's born for this shit. Cause I am mythic, I was made for this shit. They feeling the rumble when I make you quake. On the earth, up from the bottom, onto the top, making it shake, yeah. I'm taking the crown. That's why I came, cause I came to reign. Know the name, nothing can stop me. I can't be contained. I was born ready. I'm legendary. I'm legendary. Notorious. Victorious. Written in stone. History's made. I came to rule. I came to play out of the rubble and out from the dirt. This is my rise, this is my time, this is my birth. This is my legacy, I'm made for this shit. This is my moment, I was born for this shit. I make it rumble when I show my grit. I am the raw, I am the real, I am the strong, I am the great, yeah. I'm taking the crown. That's why I came, cause I came to reign. Know the name, nothing can stop me. I can't be contained. I was born ready. I'm legendary. I'm legendary. I'm legendary. I'm legendary. Notorious. I'm legendary. I'm taking the crown. That's why I came, cause I came to reign. Know the name, nothing can stop me. I can't be contained. I was born ready. I'm legendary. I'm legendary.
Absolutely slain, and finally away goes.
I'm legendary. Notorious. I'm legendary.
Have to say, Void had a good round the round before. Actually, it was a great read on the guy pinching, managed to get the kill to get the round. So I'm just hoping Project Rose managed to slow it down a wee bit, use a couple more of their tacticals. And
I have seen getting some really crazy kills across some of our maps and some of our clips over on TikTok. So hopefully we can see some more of them today as well. But Laura, she's come back from a long spell of not playing Call of Duty. So she said that yeah, sometimes she can have great games, sometimes she can't. So we'll see if that's going to be the case across today and across these.
It was only scrap time, you'd say 15 to 20 seconds, but it keeps the game close. The only bad thing for Project Rose is now that the guys on Legion have got a fairly good setup onto B3, but that'll get mixy with Kelly looking for a wee wrap around the back, but they have read it. Proxima picking up that kill. Will he lead the second? Take shots. Great teamwork there from the
5 shit going his way as well. And now, is he going to try and find more? Is he going to be able to build towards using these streaks? Is he going to find out how there's only one round though to win, and if they do win it, it's not a chance. Even if he gets all 4 dead, there's not going to be a chance to use it. So, what's he going to go down here? This is going to be interesting. R60 is going to come out. That timing is going to be perfect. Oh my